Hi there, everybody. It's me again, Randy Ray, coming to you pre-recorded from Driftwood Ranch. I call myself the Literate Texan. It would be more accurate to call myself a literate Texan. But Dark Violet Dreams was kind enough to tag me in something called the Rapid Fire Book Tag. And I really did mean to do this tag yesterday on Tuesday, but guess what? It's now Tag Wednesday and I'm about to do it. Interesting thing about this tag is it's very similar to a tag I've done before called the This or That tag. But since it's called Rapid Fire Book Tag, I'm going to see how quickly I can make a video answering all these prompts, because holy mackerel, it looks like there's like 24 questions on here or something. So I'm going to get right into it because I am curious to see how quickly I can do this. The first question is ebook or physical book. I always prefer the physical book when I can, but I'm warming up to ebooks. Paperback or hardback. Always like a hardcover book these days. It's more substantial in my hands. The font is bigger, which matters to me now. When I was younger, I preferred paperbacks because they were cheaper. Online or in-store book shopping. I would prefer to shop for books in-store if I could. But for health reasons, I don't get to the bookstore very often anymore at all. So I do most of my book shopping online. Trilogies or series. I think I tend to prefer a trilogy to a series. Series tend to go on too long, and I don't know that I want to make a commitment to something that long. Heroes or villains. I tend to prefer heroes, but a hero's only as good as its villain. A book you want everyone to read. Everything Matters by Ron Curry Jr. is a book that I would like everyone to read. It's absolutely terrific. Well written, touching. I just don't have words for how good it is. Recommend an underrated book. Ooh, that's a tricky one. I don't know. I'm going to come back to that one. The last book you finished. The last book I finished would have been Star Trek Triangle, number 9 in the Pocketbook series, written by Sandra Marshak and Myrna Culbreth. And I made a video about it not too long ago. The last book you bought. The last book I bought was an ebook, and it's about the Civil War. It's titled This Hallowed Ground, A History of the Civil War, and it's written by Bruce Catton. It's something I'm reading for BookTube Goes to War. The weirdest thing you've used as a bookmark, probably money, probably a $100 bill. I used to be a show-off. Used books, yes or no? Used books, definitely. Top 3 favorite genres. Oh, that's a tricky one. Literary fiction, science fiction and fantasy, mystery. Borrow or buy? Definitely buy. Characters or plot? If it's a good book, plot stems from the characters. Long or short books? That's a tricky one. I guess I prefer long books, really. Long or short chapters? I like short chapters. I like feeling like I've accomplished something. It keeps me reading. Name the first 3 books you think of. Foundation by Isaac Asimov, The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien, and Last Exit by Max Gladstone. Books that made you laugh or cry. Well, I just finished a novel by Emily Henry called Book Lovers, contemporary rom-com kind of thing. My daughter and I read it as a buddy read. We didn't make a video about it, but we did read it as a buddy read. I'm trying to get her to come on the show as a guest. I think that would be so much fun. But I'm a sucker for these love stories, man. I'm not going to lie. I knew how the story was going to turn out because, of course, it's a rom-com. But I still shed a happy tear at the end of it. And actually, during the first 50% of the book, I laughed at something on just about every page. I mean, literally laughed out loud. It's one of the funniest books I've ever read. Our World or fictional worlds? Ooh, that's a tough one. Well, I'm probably going to go with Our World. Audiobooks, yes or no? Yes, but with reservations. I like audiobooks. I don't look down at audiobooks. It's not the same thing as reading a book because you're having a book read to you. The problem I've found, especially as the years have gone by, is that the narrators of the audiobooks have decided that they're going to be actors and do voices and You know what? Just read me the book, man. I don't need you to portray every character, especially if you're a man doing a woman's voice. No, doesn't work for me at all. Do you ever judge a book by its cover? Well, of course, everybody judges a book by its cover initially because they hadn't read it. Book to movie or book to TV adaptations? I tend to prefer book to TV adaptations because most of the time we're talking about novels, and novels are generally just too long to make a movie out of. If you've seen The World According to Garp or The Cider House Rules, and then compared those with the books, it's pretty obvious. Man, those books cover a number of years in those characters' lives, and they inevitably wind up feeling really, really truncated. On the other hand, you look at a miniseries like, Empire Falls by Richard Rousseau, which is terrific. But they made it into a 2-part miniseries and probably could have made it into an even longer miniseries. Also, Olive Kittredge is another example of a book that was effectively turned into a miniseries for TV. A movie or TV show that you preferred to its book? Probably the Coen brothers' version of True Grit. And that's not to take anything at all away from the novel. It's a wonderful novel. Charles Portis is a terrific writer. But man, what a movie. And I understand that the original True Grit with John Wayne, it's good too. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that movie, but the Coen brothers just nailed it. Series or standalone? I tend to prefer standalone novels to series. That's just me. And then as far as an underrated book goes, heck, let me look around here for a second and see what I think. I don't know. I think anything by Shakespeare tends to be underrated these days, unless you're a Shakespeare fan. Most people are like, well, I don't understand it. It isn't relevant today, whatever. But none of that's true. You can understand Shakespeare if you want to. It's written in English. You just have to kind of develop your ear for it. It takes a little bit of time. I've been promising to make a how to get started with Shakespeare video for a long time. And I don't know why I'm putting it off, but it seems like, well, I'll tell you why I'm putting it off, because it's an important subject and Shakespeare matters. So I want to do it justice. So anyway, those are my answers, and I think I got this tag done really fast, so I'm pretty happy about it. And I even managed to get in a few clever bon mots or whatever they call that in French. Those French, they have a different word for everything, don't they? Thank you for watching. I will be back here at Driftwood Ranch with more videos soon. Until then, take care, stay hydrated.